Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to go over a couple stories that show how big of a douchebags our colleges are becoming here in the U.S. And the first is a story on Free Beacon, which I do actually have a friend that works there, or, well, an internet friend, you might say. College courses ban the use of the offensive words such as illegal alien, male, and female. Okay, illegal alien isn't offensive unless you're an illegal alien. Okay, let me start reading this article for you. A professor at the Washington State University is banning students from using offensive and oppressive language, including the words illegal alien, male, and female. Okay, male and female are not offensive or oppressive. Well, maybe if you're a third-wave feminist douche noggin or a transgendo bi-kappa wussy, it's not. Or they are. The fall of 2015 syllabus for Selena Lester Brensky Women in Popular Cultural course first reported that the campus reform indicated that the students could fail the course if they employ words during class or an assignment deemed off limits by the professor. Fuck you, professor. There is no off limit words in writing reports and whatnot. You can go kiss a big fat cow, keister. Gross generalizations, stereotypes, or derogatory/oppressive language are not acceptable. Use of racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, classist, or generally offensive language in class or submission of such materials will not be tolerated, the syllabus reads. Lovely. I can see not using words that describe that stuff, but who's to say what words what? Because the word man or the man are not oppressive. They're not sexist. It's not homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic. It could possibly be classist depending on how it's used. And even though the man is supposed to be a derogatory, most people that are the man would not find it derogatory and would actually find it funny, as most white people find the word cracker to be funny, even though it is a racist statement. Let's see. Such officious language, including the man, colored people, illegal aliens, tranny, and referring to women/men as female or males, well, bite me and paint me freaking purple. Colored people is a standard phrase used across the board. Illegal and illegal aliens, I know they're trying to get that one changed because of PC culture. And tranny, there are transvestites who call themselves tranny. So, fuck you. The professor emphasized that the repeated use of such vocabulary could warrant punishment. Ooh, spank me, baby. Such as removal from class without attendance, or participation points, failure of the assignment, and, in extreme cases, failure for the semester. And, little miss, you would be talking to my lawyer, or Mr., whichever one you are, professor. Oh, I think we see it right down there. Brensky is not alone in her decision to forbid students from referring to immigrants as illegals. Well, if they're illegal, they're illegal. If they cross the border without paperwork and without doing it the correct way, guess what? They're freaking illegals because they're Mexican pack mules most of the time. And anyways, we have people from Canada. It's just not as often. And there are others around here that come from white countries that get visas or whatnot, but don't redo the paperwork, and we hunt them down too. The professor of an indoctrination to compare ethnic study courses at Washington State threatened students with a grade reduction for the use the term illegal aliens or illegal. Well, if you reduce my grade and I had the money to go to the college, and if I'm rich enough, guess what? I'm getting a lawyer and I'm suing you in the school for everything you got. Professor Rebecca Flowers cites the Associated Press style book, wrote in her fall 2015 syllabus that students should forego these monikers in favor of labeling migrants as undocumented. See, let's call them undocumented because that doesn't sound like they're bad people. No. You know what? Because just because you change the name, a rose by any other name is still a fucking rose. And the same with an illegal immigrant. It's still an illegal immigrant, whether you want to call them undocumented. Students who employ the barred terms in writing assignments will suffer 1 point deduction for each use. Does this remind you of a movie? John blah blah blah, you have been fined 1 point. You have been fined 1 point. Oh, look, I now have toilet paper, TP for my bunghole. The course goal is to instill in its subject an understanding of white privilege. There's no such thing as white privilege because every fucking race on this planet has their own given privilege, you fuckheads. If you don't want to live in a white privileged world, move to a country where there are not white people as the dominant race, which America is slowly but surely no longer becoming dominated by white people. North America is slowly but surely not becoming dominated by whites anymore. It is slowly changing its demographic. Not that long ago, the U.S. was 90% whites. Now we're down to about 70%. So, kiss a potato. A third professor at Washington State, Douche-Nazary School, is directing incoming white pupils to defer to their non-white counterparts in this introduction to multicultural lecture course this fall. Well, there's something that collapses a society. Reflect your grasp of history and social reflections by respecting shy and quiet classmates and by deferring to the experience of people of color. Wait a minute, you just told us not to use people of color. What is it? Do we use it? Do we not? Do we use it? Do we not? People of color? No color? John Starman's syllabus reads, finally, understanding and considering the range of people who are victims of systematic injustice. Stevens also labeled Glenn Beck as an insensitive white in the syllabus. Wow, that's interesting because I guarantee you there's quite a few black people and people of color who would disagree with you. As a matter of fact, he went on a campaign this past summer. I think it was this past summer. Maybe it was last year. Which involved him visiting quite a few churches of color around the U.S. And if you've never been to a black church, tell you what, gotta go. Good time. They can get quite singy and dancing. And it beats the hell out of that other group that bore you to sleep and then tell you to stand up every 5 minutes to keep you from passing out, and then you got to eat that tasteless freaking cracker. Ugh. Okay, now let's look at, now that we've seen the retards at this college, let's look at this, and guess what? This is from The Blaze, Okay, so let's look here. Let's look at the title first. College professor, U.S. politics are promoting state-sanctioned violence against minority. And I call bullshit. I would say the attitudes and actions of minorities are what is causing the police to be more violent or seem to be more violent against them. Now let's get into this story. Policing in the United States is akin to third world law enforcement, which has led to state-sanctioned violence against minorities, according to one writer and college professor. Our colleges are so fucked. students going to colleges are so fucked. Mary and James, author of the novel A Brief History of Seven Killings, I can't talk today apparently, was speaking at a literary festival in France Sunday when he compared police, who he suggests often believed they are above the law, to the death squads in Argentina's Dirty War, which was run by the country's military leaders in the 1970s. What the people like me find alarming is there is almost no state-sanctioned violence. There is almost state-sanctioned violence in America, particularly with police. James said, according to Yahoo News, America has developed a weird kind of third-world police which horrifies people like me and many of my friends from Kenya or Nigeria. Why? Could you break in the law some way? That's the only reason to be afraid of the police. James, a 45-year-old immigrant from Jamaica who has lived in the U.S. for more than 20 years, said seeing police officers who feel they are above the law is something that we, who migrated to America, thought we had gotten away from. No, dude, corruption's everywhere. It's just more so in some places than others. But I think that you're feeling the police that think they're above the law are just, you got a speeding ticket and now you're crying over it. He pulled me over for no reason. I was doing 90 and a 30. That ain't a reason to pull me over. Okay. James, a 45-year-old immigrant from Jamaica, has lived in the U.S. for more than 20 years, said seeing police officers who feel they're above the law, something that we migrated to America to avoid, thought we had got away from. He said, though Americans have a hard time recognizing the validity of this point because it's mostly a minority and it's victimized by it. This sort of unquestioning authority, straight up killing people, is why Black Lives Matter happened. No, Black Lives Matter happened based on a fucking lie, you ingrate. James told the audience that the way the kind of violence is projected means it is state-sanctioned. No violence, and there is no difference in the Argentina during the Dirty War. How do some of these people get college degrees to teach when they're so fucking stupid they can't even see the forest for the trees? In addition to writing, James is a professor of literature at McAleer College in St. Paul, Minnesota, and is a writer of the Man Booker Prize for A Brief History of Seven Killings, which chronicles the experience of a group of people involved in the attempted assassination of singer Bob Marley in Kingston, Jamaica, shortly before he appeared at a political event. Well, there, mister, I think, number one, you need to go look at the FBI fucking crime stats to see and ask why the police tend to treat black people and run down neighborhoods a lot fucking different than they treat white people in run down neighborhoods. Are there racist cops out there? Fuck yes, there is. Are there that many more racist cops? No. The problem is with the black community not teaching their kids fucking morals or how to behave. And these kids are going out robbing and stealing and joining gangs, as minorities often do in countries. Minorities often join gangs or coalesce together for their own protection and safety. But when you pull the father out and nobody's there to guide the kids can easily be persuaded to do wrong shit. Ask any teenager on this fucking planet. Stop teaching fucking lies. Teach your students to take up for their own actions that they did something wrong. Because please, other than an accidental shooting, which they do happen, Please show me one instance where the person was not resisting arrest or putting up a fight or failure to comply with lawful orders. And if you listen to anything, listen to this, dumbass. It is easier to fight a cop in a court of law than on the street, because he will beat you every single time on the street. Okay, let's look at some of the comments. Nope, I don't see any comments. Okay, so there's no comments down there. Let's see, do we got any comments on the Washington? No, we don't. So there we go. There's 2 stories of how our colleges are teaching kids to be morons and not take responsibilities for their actions. You know, changing a word, oh, well, you'll offend them. No, I am making them, by using that word, be responsible for their actions. They crossed the border illegal. They broke the law. Therefore, they are illegal. This type of, we'll call it wrongthink, that these colleges are teaching these kids is ridiculous. And this is, well, this may not be the number 1 threat to the U.S., but it's definitely up there because it teaches people how to be stupid and how to not take responsibility and need safe spaces. I'm sorry, I've never gotten a safe space in my damn life. My safe space is my house. This is where I'm king of my castle. Till the woman wants something and I can say, yes, ma'am, and run and jump. All right, till next time. Catch you on the flip side. There will be a link in the descriptions to these 2 stories so you can go read them yourself. Till next time, bye-bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.